Geminis, welcome to your love reading for June. Woo, June. I'm ahead, aren't I? It's okay, people like to look ahead. June 2020. Keep in mind this is a general reading. If it resonates, consider a personal reading. My email is below. Just send me an email. We can go ahead and set that up. Otherwise, let's get to your reading. Holy Spirit, angels, divine guides, universe, can you please provide your truth, your wisdom, your clarity, and your insight for Geminis, love energies for June 2020. What do you see? What do they need to know? Any messages that you have to help Geminis reach your higher ground, become closer to universe and closer to divine will be greatly appreciated. And we thank you. Geminis, June 2020, love energies. What do you see? What do they need to know? What are the love energies that Gemini passed out of prior to June 2020? We have the Temperance card in the upright. I will be leaving a link below for what your love interest is thinking or feeling, and in that spread will also be something you do not know about them, and if they're currently interested in or seeing somebody else. Page of Wands in reverse are the general energies for June. Also keep in mind my 2020 Sun and Moon predictions are up in my playlist. My 2019s are up there too. Check those out. Okay, and we end on the Three of Wands as you move out of June into July. Ask me a question on Instinct. Check me out on Insta, Facebook, like, share, subscribe, and or donate. Otherwise, let's get to your reading. Okay, so I see the beginning of June. This is a card of Sagittarius, if that resonates. You guys are just trying to figure out how to find your balance and how to be okay with kind of everything that's kind of around you. I feel like it's kind of working on yourselves, trying to figure out how to quell negative thoughts and trying to think about how to make more positive changes and trying to practice a lot of patience and moderation and being calm and controlling your temper and just kind of finding that inner peace. I think you all are trying to actually, and this is really good because I feel like you're trying to really get into a good place, maybe working on the best versions of yourself so that you can be ready for the best version for yourself kind of coming in. And I mean, I'm kind of getting that. And I mean, I'm looking at this lady that's in this picture and, you know, she's kind of, I feel like she's taking a bath. I mean, she's kind of soothing in these waters and here she has water coming out of the cup like this, and it's weird, it's like hot water and it's almost like she's getting the right temperature for this, you know. And that's what I feel like you guys are doing. You're working on the right temperature that's right for you before you kind of you know, do anything. Now we're running into this character in June. This person is being represented by the Page of Wands in reverse, and this is someone who, and I feel like this has come up in your readings before. I saw a spot there. There's no talking to this person. It's really hard to communicate with them because they just aren't good at it. And as a matter of fact, like their emotional range is very short, I kind of feel like. So, I mean, you're trying to talk to them and tell them how you feel or whatever, and they just don't want to hear it, or they turn their back on you, or they know that you like communicating, so they withhold communication from you. So you'll get really frustrated. And I'm kind of getting that it's a person that you're dealing with in June. And as a result, you just are kind of saying, hey, you know, I thought this was going to work out, but maybe it's not going to work out. And you aren't really very eager about kind of following up on them or placating them because they're kind of acting this way. And I feel like you're in a really good place. Now, as you move out of June into July with the Three of Wands, this is where you all are saying, you know what, I don't need to deal with that. I have so many opportunities available to me. I mean, you know, here you are standing ashore watching all of these, you know, well, there's one big ship kind of coming in, so maybe it's just one coming in, but, you know, kind of seeing what's out there and kind of figuring out sorry about that, and figuring out who the right person is out there for you and kind of like who's going to be the lucky one to get you actually. I feel like this person is somebody also who really likes attention, and when they don't get attention they get slighted, so it's like, well then I'm not going to talk to you, you know, kind of like that. So you're just kind of like, okay, well then don't talk to me, because and the Three of Wands is also about communication at a distance. So you might be talking to people at a distance and have other people that you kind of be talking to, and talking to people that you wouldn't typically consider, you wouldn't typically date. So you're really getting to know a lot of people at a level through communication where this person just, communication is not their strong point. That's a good way of putting it. Why is the Temperance card here in the upright for Geminis? Who is this person? What is this energy? Why the Temperance card in the upright for Geminis? energies prior to June 2020. Why the Temperance card in the upright? Ooh, sorry about that. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. We have the Fool card. Okay, you need to work on this balance because it seems like you had some sort of relationship that you're really having regrets about, and it ended up making you feel very, very, it really kind of hit your confidence. You're really unsure of yourself, and you might have kind of jumped into it, thought like everything was great, it was going to all work out, and then you found out that that wasn't the case, that maybe you were making a leap too far, or you were kind of like, you kind of jumped into it and you weren't ready for it, and you didn't know kind of what you were getting into, and you blocked your intuition in regards to this relationship. So there was like, your spidey sense was telling you, oh, this doesn't feel right, that doesn't feel right, this isn't kind of adding up, but you didn't listen to it. Okay, so instead of your intuition guiding you, you just kind of told yourself that you were just imagining things, or it was just a coincidence, or ignoring red flags and what have you. You just continued on in the relationship. So as a result, things happened, there were consequences, and your confidence really took a hit. A Temperance card is you trying to kind of be okay with the situation and what it is now, and telling yourself it's okay, and finding your inner peace and working on yourself, all that good stuff that we always talk about. So, and being good with yourself. And I think that you want to do that in that personal work, like I said, so that you can meet someone who deserves that. Okay, why is the Page of Wands here in reverse? Who's this person? What's this energy in June? Additional messages for this Page of Wands. I don't know if this Page of Wands is in reverse is somebody you knew, or if this is someone you knew, or if it's somebody new. So we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. You move on from this person. You realize that there's nothing, you guys do not have this connection that's strong enough to kind of, and it might be someone that you've already knew. It could have been this relationship here, and you decide to revisit it, and then you realize it's the same old when it comes to communicating with people. If it's somebody new, either way, it doesn't work out. We have the Two of Cups in reverse, so the two of you are just like oil and water. You don't get along. You aren't on the same page. There's a lack of understanding, a lot of arguing going on, a lot of back and forth, and possibly secrets, infidelity, things like that, all that good stuff. But you kind of move on from this. I feel like you just kind of decide, hey, this isn't for me, and I don't need this. The Ten of Swords in reverse indicates to me that you just don't want to set yourself up for any of this crap. You don't want to have to go through this trauma or anything. So you move on from this, and you move on pretty easily too, I feel like. And immediately after doing so, you're kind of realizing, you're kind of getting out of your head, and you're realizing that before you were kind of not seeing what should have been there, not seeing the reality of things. Again, blocking your intuition, overlooking things or whatever. But now you're kind of coming out of this. So you definitely, you kind of kick this person to the curb, I feel like. And then you move on to the Three of Wands, because, there's other opportunities out there for you. I don't feel like you guys are walking around like, oh, there's nobody out there for me. It's just it's a matter of pick and choose, and you aren't being real active about moving towards any of those opportunities, but they're out there, and you're observing them. You're surveying the land at a distance, trying to figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to go about it. Okay, we have the Tower card, we have the Hermit card in reverse, but this is still, whatever happened back here is still on your mind, and how it just kind of fell apart all of a sudden. So you're kind of keeping to yourself. You don't, that's why you're standing and just watching these opportunities, but not going towards any of them, not entertaining any of them. You might be talking to people, but I don't feel there's anything where you're kind of, considering a relationship, because the residual of the previous relationship is still very much on your mind. And even though you walked away from whoever this person is, and maybe that's why you walked away from them, it's very strong in your mind how quickly things can change in a relationship, and how quickly things can fall apart. And here you are, the Hermit card in reverse, which is a card of Virgo, and you just kind of keeping to yourself and withdrawing and not wanting to get into it again with someone, not really wanting to kind of take that risk, being very isolated. And some of you are tired of being single, but you want to be with the right person. You don't want to kind of jump on whatever's out there just to kind of be with somebody. Ace of Cups in reverse, same, the sadness, the disappointment is still kind of with you. The Ace of Cups can be repressing your feelings, so kind of like, not not kind of holding back in communications that you're having with people, to kind of protect yourself, okay? Because this relationship you had is kind of, like I said, residual. It's still on your mind, and you don't want to go through that again. And I totally get that. So that's what I have for you. If this resonates, consider a personal reading. Just send me an email. My information is below. Click on the link below for what your love interest is thinking or feeling. In that spread will be something you do not know about them and whether or not they are currently seeing someone or interested in somebody. Check out my 2020 Sun Moon predictions. My 2019s are in there. They are in my playlist. Ask me a question on Insta. Go check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Insta. Like, share, subscribe, and or donate. Otherwise, adios from Veronica Garnett. Bye.